Imagine this. Samsung just broke records with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and instead of scrambling to catch up, Apple is quietly smiling in the background, because this is exactly what it's been waiting for. Apple didn't rush into the foldable game. It waited for Samsung to prove that people actually want this kind of device. Now that foldables are finally mainstream, Apple's move is about to be far more calculated and potentially devastating for Samsung. This strategy matters because Apple's biggest strength isn't being first, it's being right. Think about it. Apple wasn't the first with MP3 players, smartphones, or even smartwatches. But when it finally enters a market, it often redefines it and makes the category explode. Foldables are on the same track. Samsung and others have carried the burden of trial and error for years, slowly convincing consumers that foldables aren't just fragile toys for tech nerds. The Fold 7's success proves the world is ready, and Apple is preparing to pounce. Let's talk numbers for a second. In just 4 weeks, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 sold more than 250,000 units in Western Europe alone. That makes it the fastest-selling foldable Samsung has ever launched, more than doubling the Fold 6's early sales and beating the Fold 4 by about 70%. And this is during the summer, which usually isn't even a hot shopping season. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holidays are still ahead, meaning the sales momentum could get even crazier. That kind of performance shows that foldables are finally stepping out of their niche and becoming mainstream. But here's the thing. That success is also laying the perfect runway for Apple. A foldable iPhone has been rumored for years, and the specs floating around suggest it's not just going to match Samsung, it could leapfrog it. Reports say Apple's first foldable will feature a nearly crease-free 7.8-inch inner display and a 5.5-inch cover screen. Unlike Samsung's taller, narrower fold design, Apple is going for wider proportions, something closer to an iPad mini experience in your pocket. That instantly makes sense in the Apple ecosystem because it opens the door to multitasking, pencil support, and deeper iOS app integration. Then there's the build. Samsung made the Fold 7 sleek and thin, but Apple might play a different card. Rumors point to a slightly thicker design, around 4.5 to 4.8 millimeters when unfolded, but with a huge upside, a 5,000 to 5,500 mAh battery. That, combined with Apple's legendary power management, could give users real all-day battery life on a foldable. The hinge might even use titanium for durability, which feels very on-brand for Apple's premium positioning. Performance won't be an afterthought either. The foldable iPhone is expected to ship with Apple's upcoming A20 chip built on a cutting-edge 2-nanometer process. That means faster speeds, better efficiency, and likely the kind of long-term support Apple devices are known for. Add in things like an under-display selfie camera on the big inner display, plus a traditional front camera on the outer display, and the package starts to look seriously competitive. Of course, all of this will come with Apple pricing, around $2,000, right in line with Samsung's Fold 7. The difference is people don't just buy Apple products for the hardware, they buy into the ecosystem. A foldable iPhone would instantly tie into iCloud, continuity, Apple Watch, AirPods, Macs, and iPads. That's the one advantage Samsung can never fully replicate. And that's why, even if the Fold 7 is a sales hit today, it might end up being remembered as the product that set the stage for Apple's takeover tomorrow. Now, some might say Apple waited too long. Samsung, Huawei, Oppo, Honor, even Google, all of them have been pushing foldables for years. But let's be real, most of those devices were niche experiments. What Apple is about to do is launch into a market that Samsung has already normalized. Apple avoids the risk of a flop and comes in when people are finally ready to spend. It's a smart, calculated move, and one that fits perfectly with Apple's playbook. The irony is kind of funny. Samsung worked so hard to legitimize foldables, refine the tech, and prove the demand exists, and just when it finally wins that battle, Apple could swoop in and steal the war. For Samsung fans, the Fold 7 is a triumph. For Apple, it's the green light. So here's the takeaway. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 may go down in history not just as Samsung's biggest foldable success, but as the catalyst that finally pushed Apple to unleash a foldable iPhone. And if Apple executes the way it usually does, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 might need a lot more than thin bezels or a flashy hinge to stay relevant, because once Apple shows up to the foldable party, the whole game changes. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.